Lesson 2.6 is sales tax, tips, and markup. Our objective is to be able to solve problems involving sales tax, tips, and markup. Sales tax is an additional amount of money charged on items that people buy. The total cost of an item is the regular price plus the sales tax. Okay, 1A. Drew wants to buy exercise equipment that costs $140, and the sales tax is 5 7/7500%. What is the total cost of the equipment? So we take $140, and sales tax is 5 7/7500% of the 140. So we do times, and we never use a percent. We always use it as a decimal, so we have to move it over 2. So we take 140 times 0.0575, and when we do that, we get $8.05. So Drew will be paying $140 for the equipment, plus the $8.05 that's going to go to the tax on it. So we add those together to see what is the total cost. How much money does he have to have total to be able to buy this? And that is 140 plus 805. Make sure you line up those decimals when you add. So he will spend a total of $148.05. So we circle it, and that's my answer. Okay, a tip or gratuity, which we find the exact same way as tax. A tip or gratuity is a small amount of money in return for a service. The total price is the regular price of the service plus the tip. So a customer wants to tip 15% on a restaurant bill that is $35. What will be the total bill with tip? So we take the $35 that the bill is times the 15%, and we make it a decimal, so it's 0.15. So 35 times 1500 is $5.25. And then I add those together, and I get $40.25. So rather than paying just the $35 for the food, you will have to pay $40.25 to pay the waitress. And we'll talk more about tipping etiquette in class, but this is just the mathematical piece of how to do it. Okay, a haircut costs $20. Sales tax is 4 7/7500%. Is $25 sufficient to cover the haircut with tax and a 15% tip? So before I teach you how to do this mathematically, I'm going to kind of remind you how to do this mentally. If I look at $20, I know that 10% is $2 because of that trick I taught you about. You just move your decimal over. And if 10% is $2, that makes 20% $4. So that makes 15% right in the middle, which is $3. So tip would have to be $3. So tax would have to be under $2 to be able to fit into the $25 range. So let's do the math and see if it works. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is find the tax. So I'm going to take $20 times 0.0475, and that gets me 95 cents. So I add it on, and I have $20.95. Then I find my tip. So I take $20.95 times 0.15, and that gets me $3, and I'm rounding on this, $3.14. So then I take $20.95 plus the $3.14. And my total bill, when I do this, is going to be $24.09. So yes, $25 covers the haircut. Okay, markup is when, say you own a store and you buy the clothes for one price, but when you sell them for more so that you can make money. So that's the markup percentage. And so that's what 4A is covering. A store pays $56 for a GPS navigation system. The markup is 25%. Find the selling price. So you take the $56 and you multiply by 25%, and that gets you $14. So then you take the 56 plus 14, and so they are going to pay $70 for the GPS navigation system, they being a customer. So the store will make $14 every time somebody buys a GPS navigation system.